Welcome to Infraspeak Talks, and thank you for joining us today. This is part of our series of talks about issues that we find within the facilities market. And today we're going to talk about cleaning, sanitization, and decontamination, which is three different approaches to the whole issue of cleaning. With me today, I have Nina Wyres from the Floorbrite Group. Nina.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. And Nina's going to be my guest on this day. If I give Nina a chance to give herself a small introduction.
Yeah, of course. My name's Nina Wyres, and I'm the Marketing and Brand Director for the Floorbrite Group. I'll just give you a little bit of information about us. We are one of the largest commercial cleaning and soft FM service providers in the UK. It was set up 48 years ago by my dad. Sadly, he passed away in 2010, and I now run the company with my two brothers, Alex and Nick Wyres, who are the MDs, and my mum is the chairman. Traditionally, we were a cleaning, window cleaning and industrial cleaning company. But in the last decade, we've diversified into offering waste and environmental management, plants and grounds maintenance, pest control, security, and building maintenance services as well. And we employ 1,600 staff across the UK.
Thank you very much, Nina. My name's Larry O'Brien. As I said, I'm the country manager for Infraspeak in the UK. For those of you that don't know, Infraspeak is an intelligent computerized maintenance management solution. So we're a mobile-led product designed for the operators and technicians in the field to make their life easy and empower them to achieve their tasks on a daily basis. We also allow the managers to plan, understand, and be able to analyze everything that's going on. And last but not least, we are the most integrated product in the marketplace. Okay, so without further ado, what we're going to do is just run through this as a chat, and I'm going to start the session by talking about what the experience of lockdown has been for Nina and for the Floorbrite Group. Obviously, there's been certain things going on of late in the world, and I guess the big thing that I've avoided talking about in every other series to start with is COVID-19. And really, Nina, I wonder about if you could give us an idea of how that's impacted you in your workplace.
Well, it's had a massive impact. Obviously, everybody's focus has massively increased regarding cleaning and how to keep everybody in the workplace safe. So we've introduced new lines of cleaning. We had to respond and react very, very quickly to COVID when it appeared in February. The country went into lockdown, and our clients needed some response to that and some sort of solution to being able to keep their buildings open, keep them safe. So we introduced a very simple 4-tier specification to be able to offer to our clients, which we had to rapidly mobilize. So we introduced high touch point cleaning as our level 1, sanitization and deep clean for our level 2, which is provided by our industrial and specialist teams, and then fogging and electrostatic spraying, decontamination cleaning, which is provided again by our specialist teams on the level 3, and the in-house teams can do the specialist fogging on level 4 as well. So we felt it was essential to get this out there as soon as possible, because there was so much confusion around COVID and how to sorry, my light went off. There was so much confusion around coronavirus and how to tackle it. There was so much information in the press that we felt that would have been confusing clients. So we believed that it was necessary to make everything as simple as possible, which is why we came up with our 4-tier specification, so that
Nina,
it was straightforward. Yes.
no, I think that's great because your 4-tier approach explains quite clearly not only what you're undertaking there, but also, and I'm sure we'll come on to this again later, the phases and the sequence that really things have to happen in, which obviously we'll chat later on, and we know there's other people not doing this the right way. But from your point as an organization, was this something you guys had already worked upon? Were you thinking about this in advance? Were you way ahead of guys, or were you just very agile and quick in your response? And I'd like to understand a little bit more about the thought processes that went on there.
Well, being a family business, we are really agile. We are able to adapt very quickly, and that's what we did. So we're a relatively small board, really. There's 8 of us on the board. 4 of us are family members, and 4 of us are non-family members. And we were just able to rapidly mobilize new ideas and look into what was out there and get the training in place for the specialist teams to be able to deliver the services. We were able to look into new virucidal cleaning solutions, expand with antimicrobial cleaning solutions as well, and be able to deliver that information to our clients
Okay,
really, really quickly. No red tape.
great. I mean, it's great that you guys saw that and were able to respond so quickly. And again, you mentioned a couple of things there about antimicrobial and virucidal that we'll come on to again later on, because these are things we need to explain a little bit more to people. But the were you seeing a customer demand for this change in cleaning earlier on, or has there been a process of, maybe I'm phrasing this wrong, but has there been a process of having to educate the customer and bring them along on that journey with you, or were they driving you, or is it a mixture?
Well, so initially, it was such a new thing for everybody. Nobody really knew what was right or wrong from a client's perspective in the beginning.
Yeah.
And when we went into the first lockdown, it was kind of a slow start, really. When we went into the first lockdown, those buildings that remained opened, of course, wanted increased high touch point cleaning, and that was their main focus initially. But then, as confirmed cases of coronavirus started to occur throughout our premises, there was then the reaction of the clients of, oh my God, what do we do about this? And we'd already obviously started to put information out there about what we could do for clients if that happened. So we were their first port of call because they already had seen information from us that this is something that we could tackle for them. So at that point, then it was a case of educating them to be able to say, right, okay, now you need to obviously incorporate high touch point cleaning within your daily cleaning schedules and perhaps increase cleaning shifts across the day to make sure that it's repeated throughout the day. And then educating them that there's been a lot of cowboys out there that have set up, and anybody thinks that they can fog an electrostatic spray by spraying a chemical. Well, actually, there's a certain process that you've got to go through to be able to decontaminate the area, and to do that you have to clean first and then sanitize
Yeah.
to decontaminate. So yes, there was that education to go through to say you need a deep clean before you have the fogging or the electrostatic spraying to eradicate any virus there.
So Nina, one of the interesting things is obviously you guys are having to do a lot more when it comes to cleaning, because as we said, it's now cleaning, sanitization, and decontamination. And I wondered how easily the customer has grasped this, because historically, cleaning at times has been looked upon as a necessary evil. Whereas in fact now what you're doing is you're proving the absolute worth of a proper cleaning regime, because you are preventing coronavirus. You are saving lives. And I wondered if the customer has embraced this, both in terms of the costs that's associated with it, the effort associated with it, and is it raising up the ladder in terms of their prioritization now? Can you give some thought?
Yeah, yeah, it is very much at the top of people's agenda, and there's a lot of our clients that have invested some hundreds of thousands of pounds a year extra in cleaning, additional cleaning shifts, cleaning throughout the day, whereas maybe they only had an evening cleaning shift. Obviously, some people have invested in the maintenance fogging service, which is then done on a monthly basis with a chemical which has a residual effect. So it carries on working for up to 30 days on a surface, or 21, depending on which chemical you use. So that they know that they've got that all-round protection.
Has that something again that you've had to educate them through that process? Because I mean, you talked about your 4-phase process. We've touched upon the difference between cleaning, sanitization, and decontamination. But is there really an ongoing education piece with the clients to explain to them this move and this requirement, or does everybody grasp it immediately and just goes, "There you go, Nina, do whatever you need to do"?
No, there is an ongoing campaign, and I know that I've written a number of articles which are put out across the press over the months, and I still am doing, explaining to people what they need to keep doing, because I think that you don't want people to become complacent over time or think that it's gone away. When we came out of the first lockdown and everybody thoroughly enjoyed summer and the eat out plan by the government, etc. And then obviously all the cases started rising again and we went into the second lockdown. So I really am repeating myself quite a lot to make sure that our customers, keep everything in mind. And we're yes, we are close to getting a vaccine, but it's going to be a long while before the entire country has got that protection with a vaccine.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a good period of time where we're going to have to keep maintaining these levels of sanitization to keep coronavirus at bay. Otherwise, there's going to be continued cases and businesses having to shut and loss of life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting, and I see this education piece as a continual piece. One of the reasons why we do our Infraspeak talks on general subjects rather than on how our software solution can improve your life. We kind of focus on the more general subjects and try and help in that piece. So I'm really grateful for your involvement in this today. One of the bits that came through from there is the fact for me that because you've introduced this new 4-tiered service approach, your level 1, your level 2, your level 3, your level 4, all the way through to the ongoing fogging and maintenance programs you're doing, has that meant that you've had to change your internal approach from the point of view of building up expertise and expert teams?
Yes. So initially, we were outsourcing all of the specialist fogging to specialist companies. And then we decided that we really needed to very rapidly mobilize our own response as well. So our health and safety team very, very quickly worked together with our operations department and our specialist industrial division to get the correct training for the teams, to provide fully face-fitted masks for the chemicals, which are quite potent. One of them in particular, which has got an instant kill rating for coronavirus. So yeah, they were given all the specialist PPE, the masks, the training to be able to do the electrostatic fogging, and they now roll out the specialist service as well in conjunction with some of the partners who are in other areas of the country. Or obviously, if we're doing lots of them at the same time, and it's a very popular service at the moment. It's gaining
Yeah.
momentum. There's a lot of companies that are now having the decontamination cleaning.
Because this links into the comment you made earlier on about antimicrobial, and it's the difference really between what you mean in cleaning and sanitization and decontamination. You, in chatting a little bit earlier on, you told me a little story about when you fog and the issues around it if people don't do it in the right order.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of education, and again, I've written an article about it. A lot of education for customers who think that spraying an antibacterial cleaner on a surface is going to give them any protection and wipe away the coronavirus. Well, it's not, because the clue is in the title. Antibacterial cleaner is only going to kill bacteria and not viruses. So you need a virucidal cleaner, or there's some great antimicrobial cleaners out there that will do both bacteria and viruses. And the initial stage of the whole decontamination process is you need to clean a surface before you then sanitize it. And the cleaning of the surface is just getting rid of the surface organic layer of grime, really. So dirt, dust. You will lift off some bacteria and viruses, but you won't kill them. And after the process of cleaning the surface, you then need to sanitize it with something like an antimicrobial cleaner, which will kill any residual or remaining viruses or bacteria, or a virucidal cleaner. And then you can fog or electrostatic spray the area, which is a much more thorough method of decontamination. And I will explain this to you, because if you can imagine using a trigger spray bottle with a solution, you spray it onto a surface and you can physically see the droplets. There's space within those droplets. And unless you then wipe that trigger sprayed solution across the surface, you're going to have spaces where the germs or the viruses are still living.
Yeah.
Whereas when the solution is fogged or electrostatically sprayed, the solution is sprayed out in such a very fine mist, very, very, very fine microns, that the solution remains very, very lightweight in the air. It's also almost sort of hovers in the air, and will very, very slowly and gently come down onto the surfaces in a much finer layer, thoroughly covering the surfaces, but also getting into cracks, crevices, up the walls, the ceilings, and on the underside of surfaces. So when it's electrostatically sprayed, the molecules come out positively charged. So it's a bit like static electricity, when you put a balloon next to your hair and your hair sticks to it. so the molecules are positively attracted to surfaces, and then bond with the surfaces so that they remain, which is why some of these antimicrobial cleaning products have a great residual effect, because they bond with the surfaces. When a cleaner comes along the next day to do their normal cleaning shift and uses just a normal detergent or a virucidal cleaner, they're not going to wipe this solution off the surfaces. They can carry on doing
Critical
their
part of
usual.
it. That's the
Yeah,
critical part of it, isn't it? Because of the
yeah,
fact that the next day's cleaning will not negatively impact the work you've already done. And I think
yeah.
that's the bit that most people don't understand.
No, they don't. And although it does depend on the chemicals that you use. So again, there's that education for the customers out there that you can't just call up somebody from Google and expect that everybody is going to be doing the same standard of job with the same
Yeah.
standard of chemical. So it is about educating customers to know, right, well, our level 3 decontamination clean, which has to be done by our specialist teams, because the potency, the solution is very, very potent. That one will remain on the surfaces for apparently up to 21 days and will remain effective, but it has to be done by the specialist teams. And then our level 4 decontamination and maintenance fog can be done by your normal cleaners when they're trained up to do it, because it's a very environmentally people safe chemical. It's
Right.
apparently not as harmful as coffee and vitamin C. So it's absolutely fine. It won't hurt your pets. The downtime of that one is a lot less. Um, and so um, so so yeah, educating your customers about how long it's going to remain on the surfaces, how important the downtime is. The level 3, nobody can go in the building for 6 hours. The level 4 clean, somebody can go in after 3 hours, and the cleaner only has to wear a paper mask to spray it as well, not a full face fitting mask. So it's a lot more flexible chemical to use.
It's quite refreshing to come across somebody that actually knows this and an organization that are delivering an end-to-end service, because it would be fair to say earlier in the COVID lockdown process, we had people turning up that were, specialist fogging companies and things like this that were going in and doing jobs before cleaning had been done, and there was no end-to-end continuity and there was no explanation of what the process should be and how people should do it. So really grateful for the work you're doing on educating people, because I think that's the first place we need to start, but then actually tying this in as an end-to-end process. No disrespect to any specialist fogging organizations or anything like that, but it's nice if you have one partner that you can build a relationship with and trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add a further point to, the cleaning step that must be done before the decontamination fog. If you were to just leave all the dirt on the surface and there was no cleaning done, or sanitization done before the fogging, apparently, if you spray some of these chemicals onto a layer of dust, and obviously they're not settling on the surfaces, then they're just covering a layer of grime or dust. Apparently it turns all the dust white and fluffy. So yeah, so you're not going to be doing any good for your surfaces.
Well, as you said earlier on, you don't get that electrostatic bond
No.
with the surface. Instead, you get a bond with dust,
Yeah,
which,
and
you know,
exactly. And the cleaner will come along the next day and do their normal clean and wipe all of that decontaminated dust off the surfaces.
yeah.
But yeah, you won't be protected.
So if anybody out there, at least check that the people you're working with know what they're doing and understand the difference between cleaning, sanitization, and decontamination.
Yeah,
Because I think these words are bandied about a little bit too freely by some people.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you as an organization have changed because you saw the demand and were able to introduce a service, and then you've had to ramp up your internal skill sets and put these teams in place. What kind of challenges have you as an organization faced in the doing of this?
Well, I mean, initially it was just being able to deliver that training and get that service out as fast as possible, and obviously to inform of all of our customers that we were able to do this for them. Um, it's not been difficult. It's just been a lot of work to do quite quickly.
Okay, because yeah, I guess that while some of the world has stopped due to COVID-19, the cleaning industry hasn't had a chance really.
No, and we've been extremely busy at the same time because obviously we have 1,600 staff that are directly employed by us, but then we work with partners across the country who we also have employees working on our behalf. So, in conjunction with mobilising all of these new services, we were obviously dealing with the closure of all of our offices site, all of our office sites. Now, fortunately, we have we clean across all sectors. So we clean in education, retail, manufacturing, distribution, as well as offices. So we have a very widespread portfolio. Now, all the office staff all went home in the first lockdown and were furloughed. And in response to that, we obviously had to furlough all of our cleaners who weren't able to clean in those office sites. So we furloughed 580 staff, which is just over a third of our workforce. So that made us a very busy company. All departments,
Yeah,
it was hands on deck, and we didn't furlough anybody at head office because we needed them to manage the tailor made closures of offices and then reopening of offices, or reducing of service, and then they changed their mind and realized they needed more cleaning even though there was less people in. And so it was a bit of yo-yoing in
yeah,
the early days, and we were having 2-hour board meetings every single day for the
yeah.
first couple of months to be able to manage the change in rules as well from the government. So it was just ridiculously busy, I'd say, for the first few months until we sort of found our not feet, but until we found our rhythm, I suppose, with
Yeah.
the closing and the reopening. And then obviously when everything reopened again in July, there was the whole remobilisation process and cleaners going on to flexible furlough, um, and yeah, clients opening back up. So it's been really challenging. Everybody's been very busy,
Yeah.
and that's as well as offering new services to clients, which are just really popular at the moment.
No, excellent.
Naturally,
No, it does sound I mean, I think every company's faced their challenges through this process. Unfortunately, not every company has come through as well as you guys have. But here's hoping we start to get to a level of normality at some point with the vaccine in the not too distant future. One hopes, but I don't think the need for cleaning, for sanitization and decontamination, is going to go away now. I think those are now, these processes and these service offerings that you've got are things that are going to run and run. Well, we can but
yeah,
hope. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that I now, this is a personal belief, and you may well shoot me down in flames at this point, and that's okay. But I think historically the relationship between a cleaning organization and their customer is pretty much one of, well, they paid, and it's the usual thing. Nobody shouts about the lights being on, they only shout when the lights go off. So nobody shouts about the office being clean, they only shout when it's dirty or there's a case of coronavirus. How's that changed the relationship you've got with with your clients now? How's that
Well,
reshaped?
I'd say there's a newfound respect for cleaners in the workplace, and that's only a really good thing. We've shouted a lot on social media about our cleaners. We put lots of pictures of them on because they still had the fear, just like everybody else, about going to work, and many of them were still going to work while everybody else was safe in the lockdown, furloughed, working from home. The cleaners were still going out, and in the early days before there was a lot of information out there, they were scared. They didn't know how dangerous it was in the beginning, or how easy it was to catch, and obviously all those sorts of things. So yeah, our clients the clean is obviously a lot more visible as well, and our
Yep.
clients have respect for that, because they're there throughout the day now, in a lot more cases, and they're grateful that they're keeping them safe and that they're doing the jobs that other people don't want to do.
Nina, those customer relationships, obviously you've got long-term relationships with a number of your customers and they know who you are and they know that you guys do what you said you do. But then you've got new relationships, new customers. And obviously you have to build trust with those people. And to me, that trust comes down in what you guys are doing in terms of your communication, your reporting, your um, ability to evidence the work undertaken, whether that's cleaning, whether it's sanitization, or whether it's decontamination. How do you find those challenges?
Well, obviously, when a customer comes to us, we've usually gone through quite a rigorous tender process to be able to get the business in the first place. And within the tender, we've usually had to provide all our policies and quite detailed documentation as to why we know what we know, and how we can do what we can do. Um, so they've already got the background on us. They've already got that trust that we know what we're doing. But on an ongoing basis, yeah, we need to document and audit and report to our customers, and we do. And we use some great pieces of technology for that. So we have our industrial and Windows teams who, when they've done their one-off specialist cleans or window cleaning duties each quarter or month or whatever that rota might be, they have PDA units that clients have to sign off on. On a monthly basis, all our area managers visit our clients and go through an audit, again on an iPad, and score the cleaning in certain areas across the building. And that's all digitally recorded and goes straight back to our head office in our CMS system. So everything's backed up, everything's recorded. Some of our clients prefer that we use their own portal systems, and fill in their reports. So we work with our customers who like everything to match their own systems. But yeah, we move with the times, and we're currently implementing a new CMS system at the moment. So everything works really well on that side of things.
Okay. I mean, one of the things we find, because we work with people in this, is being able to identify the individual tasks that people undertook, when they did them, where they did them, capturing customer signatures, even capturing videos of the process, maybe of fogging or something like that, actually being undertaken is all beneficial to add into that. But it does always come back to communications between you and the client. Yeah.
Yes, yes. We're always available for clients to pick up the phone, or these days, Teams us. Teams, Zoom. We speak to clients in their kitchens, and clients speak to us in our kitchens when we've been working at home during the lockdown. It's very nice, actually. It really gives a really nice human touch.
I'm not
Uh,
allowed. I'm not allowed in our kitchen. Sorry. I was banned from there many years ago. Okay. Obviously, we've talked about coronavirus, COVID, and the lockdown. The big issue that existed before any of this turned up was Brexit. And obviously, we're imminent now. And there's still some things, people are still trying to work out some of the changes that are going to be there. And you hear the conversations going on in the radio about where we are and how effective it's all been at the moment. But really, back in the day, there was this worry that we were going to have too few people because everybody was going to leave, so the cleaning industry was going to be stuck for resources. We've since had the COVID scenario, and we know from other people that actually there's availability of resources, unfortunately, at this moment in time. But it still links into two things that we think about, and I know these are subjects you've talked about as well in the past, which really is the whole staffing issue and the idea of business continuity. Can you touch on those subjects maybe?
Yeah. So yeah, if we just briefly touch on Brexit,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you that initially, everybody is thinking, oh my goodness, we're going to lose our pool of people, and we did experience a number of staff returning to their countries of birth. And that was really, really sad. Yeah, we did have conversations with other ethnic groups who decided to stay, which is great. I think it will affect the pool of people out there, and well, all I can say to people in the cleaning business out there is that to attract and retain um, the good people out there, we're going to have to make sure that we're offering the living wage where possible, good rates of pay, and a great place to work. We make sure that we look after our staff here. We've just invested nearly £1 million in our head offices with a brand new training centre. We try to stay as engaged as possible with our cleaning staff out on site by having awards each month, Bright Star Awards, communicate as much as we can with them, keep the area managers in touch with them so that they can try and feel part of our family culture and family values. Regarding retaining the staff that we have, well, again, it's about making sure that you offer the right rate of pay and all the right additional benefits. For example, we have an employee assistance program for all of our staff. The cleaners have access to that as well, so that they can, especially during lockdown, it's been really important for everybody to have access to a mental wellbeing program. Which a lot of staff have taken advantage of, which is brilliant. We for continuity, I'd say potentially coronavirus might have done the cleaning industry a favour. I don't know. I suppose we get to see that. But because the cleaning industry's profile has been raised such a lot, it's potentially brought to light our industry in a more favourable light. And sadly, a lot of those people that have lost their jobs due to redundancy, who are maybe now trying to find roles, and they can't necessarily get the exact job that they want, they are taking on a cleaning job. But perhaps those people will be able to see that there is a career path in our industry. And we're actually creating a program at the moment with one of our clients, where we are looking to get young people into the workplace. So we're going to be doing a special trainee program in January to get young, unskilled people who perhaps have never had a job before. And we don't want them to become the lost generation that are unemployable and unable to get a job. But we want to show them that the FM sector is a sector where they can build a career. And it's not just about being a cleaner that goes in for 2 hours a day, cleans the toilets and empties the bins. But you can actually have a career path. You can work your way up through the industry. We've got a number of area managers that have started as a cleaner, then become a supervisor, and now they're an area manager. And one of them in particular, one of our Manchester area managers, she's going to be the ambassador for the programme. She's absolutely fantastic. She's one of our best area managers.
I think that's actually a fantastic point, because I do think that people do think of the cleaning industry, oh, well, you're cleaning. They don't understand all the roles and the opportunities that exist within it. I mean, not being funny, as you said, you're a family business. It's kind of a big family business.
Yeah, there's money in luck.
And there's no shame or embarrassment in that, as far as I'm concerned.
No, absolutely not. And we've got career cleaners that work with us.
Yeah.
Cleaning is actually a really, really flexible industry. It really, really suits those mums out there that want to just fit something in while the kids are at school and they've got to pick them up at 3 o'clock, and they just want to work a couple of hours just to earn a little bit of extra pin money. Also, people can take on a temporary job in the run up to Christmas so that they can get extra Christmas presents, or in the summer, if they want to save up money to go on holiday. But there are lots of cleaners out there that are career cleaners. They work, 40 hours a week, and they earn really good money as well. And some of them, if they want to progress, they can. They can join the specialist teams. They can be a supervisor. They can be site managers. We've got site managers on massive blue chip companies out there that look after whole teams of people.
Thank you very much for attending today. Nina, thank you very much for your time in this session. I thought it was very beneficial.
I'm glad, thank you.
No worries at all. What I'd like to do is welcome anybody that's viewed the session today to feel free to subscribe either through our LinkedIn page, click the links that are available at the end of the session, and you can register for future talks at Infraspeak. We'd really welcome the opportunity to engage with you, and in the meantime, if you've any queries, please feel free to send them through to us. Contact details will be at the end of this short video, and I will either put you in touch with Nina if it's a specific query for Nina, or if there's a query for us, please send it to L.O'Brien@infraspeak.com. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in the new year. Have a great festive period.
Thanks very much. Bye.